All right, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to Flow FM TV, where we talk about the trending issues that made the round within the day. A few weeks ago, before now, INEC said they were going to conclude the 2023 general election all over the country. They started on the 25th February 2023, where the presidential and National Assembly elections actually took place all over the country. Now, on the 18th of March 2023, another election, which was the Governorship and State Assembly election, took place in 29 states of the Federation. Now, some states were left behind owing to the fact that they were going to conduct a supplementary election to finish up with the 2023 election. Now, on Saturday was 15th of April 2023, in 23 states, there were supplementary elections for governorship, National Assembly elections, as well as state constituencies. And that particular election happened. But prominent amongst them was the Adamawa State Governorship supplementary election, where we understand that everything was going perfectly well until during the collation, they have collated 10 local governments, remaining 10. Then later, they started again and collated 1 local government, remaining 9. On that, it was adjourned, according to report, to resume on Sunday by 11 a.m., according to the collation officer. Then after, we understand that the resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State, Professor Ari, actually came before the slated time of 11 a.m. to make a purported declaration which actually saw the emergence of the APC governorship candidate in Adamawa State, Aisha Binani, purportedly being declared as the governor-elect. Samson, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
It's really funny because
exactly.
When you look at issues
honestly
happening in Nigeria, you'll be wondering, where are we coming from? Where are we? Who are we exactly? The resident electoral commissioner does not have anywhere in the law mandated to declare or return the governor-elect of any state. He is supposed to man the offices of the Independent National Electoral Commissioner. The person charged with the responsibility, according to the law, of making such proclamation is the collation, or rather the returning officer for the state. And we are asking, where is the returning officer for governorship supplementary election held in Adamawa State? Where is he?
Probably somewhere doing his job. But the REC decided to usurp his powers
and wreck everything.
And wrecked havoc. Such a declaration. Haba. Such audacity. Imagine. What else? I mean, that's the height of the depressing electoral rascality that we have witnessed recently. That's the height of it, Ginika. What else? What else could be worse than that? I mean, he was just in a hurry. Hurry for what? To probably make returns, to probably deliver the job. What exactly was his was in his mind when he mounted that podium to make that declaration? And after the declaration, they asked him how. He said it's done. And then how? What? He actually declared the woman a winner without results, because he did not even say that the woman scored so votes. The declaration was not properly done. And immediately he made the declaration, the woman was somewhere giving an acceptance speech.
So there was a kind of synergy.
There was a synergy.
Maybe they had told the woman, look, I'm going to declare this. Immediately I'm done. Just go ahead and read your acceptance speech. Quickly, I understand that INEC stepped in immediately.
Yes.
That's the national headquarters of INEC. They stepped in immediately to, to assuage the tension that was obviously building as a result of that purported declaration. Now, let's listen to the INEC National Commissioner for Voter Education, Dr. Festus. Okoye.
Well, the situation in Adamawa State is that the commission has suspended further collation of results in Adamawa State. This commission appointed a collation/returning officer for the governorship election in Adamawa State, and we appointed the deputy vice chancellor of the University of Maiduguri as the collation/returning officer. The commission has not relieved him of that particular responsibility. The resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State exercises what we call delegated authority, powers delegated to him by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The acting as collation and returning officer are not part of the powers delegated to him. So he had no right whatsoever to go and make a declaration and also make a return when there have been results that have been warehoused, and there have also been supplementary results that were ongoing. 10 local governments have been announced. The other local governments have not been announced. So it was out of place for him to assume the task of a returning officer, go and make a declaration and a return when collation was still ongoing. So the commission has suspended further collation of results in Adamawa State, and the commission has summoned the returning officer to Abuja, and the returning officer is already in Abuja. The commission has also summoned the resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State to Abuja, and we expect him to be there. And all the other officials that played one role or the other have also been summoned.
All right, welcome back to the program. Now, you just listened to Festus Okoye there, and I understand that PDP actually made a reaction calling for the arrests, immediate arrest of the Adamawa wreck. And I think everybody, all women in Nigeria, should join that call. We want to see electoral offenders get arrested and also prosecuted. I'm
equally worried about the Commissioner of Police, the State Director of DSS, and all those who provided cover for the recalcitrant INEC resident electoral commissioner to have such a show of shame. I listened to someone this morning, one of some of the election analysts. They said that the man could land himself as much as 36 months in jail because he actually contravened the law under section 120 subsection 4 of the Electoral Act as amended. If it is established that he made a declaration without being properly authorized, or he lacks such powers as established by the law, he could get 36 months behind the bar. But that's even on a very small scale. I am talking about those who collaborated. The Commissioner of Police, the Director of DSS, they all flanked the resident electoral commissioner when he made that infamous declaration, Genica, and he leaves us in tatters. Yes, INEC may have taken a very swift decision, a very swift action to recover what is left of that process and correct the anomaly, but the audacity tells you what we have experienced so far. I mean, what was the motive? The motive is the moment the declaration was made, he thought it would stand, and he now tells the other people to go to court, like it happened during the presidential election. You see, that's where we get it wrong. I followed the reactions on Twitter. People were actually mocking INEC, especially the national chairman, that the monsters that he actually raised are already taking over. And that what happened during the presidential election was a stepping stone for such illegality, because you would always tell someone to go and challenge the process in court. But that's not the best way to do. I'm happy that a decision has been taken, at least to suspend the process. Let's see where it goes. How could you have been trailing with 30 votes? 30,000 votes from the incumbent governor, Amadu Fintiri, leading with 30,000 votes, and from nowhere you just come. The fact is, it's not just we don't even know the actual score that actually produced, in quote, Aisha Binani. But the issue that empowered the REC to make such declaration. Could it be a kind of a spite on the PDP presidential candidate? Don't forget that is his home state, Adamawa State. It appears that some powers somewhere are trying to spite him, to tell him, come on, you can't even deliver your state. That's why they obviously cooked up this kind of collation of results and announcing APC governorship candidate as governor-elect. I think we should be thinking of the bigger picture, which is Nigeria, the image of the country at large. That action has been widely condemned across board, and it signposts electoral malfeasance, electoral malpractice. It signposts electoral rascality as far as Nigeria as a country is concerned. So it shouldn't be about Atiku Abubakar. He is not on the ballot. The presidential election is over, and even if Amadou Fintiri, who is his own person, wins, it will not increase his chances at the election petition tribunal. The fact remains that Adamawa State, as far as presidential election is concerned, is concluded, done, and the contenders are challenging the process in court. Established. So why, even if the target is the presidential candidate of PDP, you ask yourself, why should we go to that extent? Was it necessary? It wasn't necessary now.
Okay, now what should be the right thing to do now? When are we going to see the end of this process in Adamawa State? I'm talking about the supplementary election. Since INEC headquarters, they've actually suspended the collation and the process. So when are we going to see the end of this? Don't forget, KB had similar issue, but they've resolved their own. And somebody cited an instance of with Abia State, where this could have been also another case of Abia State, but it was quickly resolved, and we had governor-elect as I think 22nd of March instead of 18th of March when that election held. So are we going to see an end to this very soon, or is it going to be postponed to a later date? What will happen from now?
The process has been suspended, and that's the starting point. You have to clear the table, get people who are already hugely compromised out of the system, like the resident electoral commissioner. Obviously, he has ruled himself out of contention. He should not pretend on anything election in that state. As far as I'm concerned, that was a huge, a very obvious display of compromise. So he's shown that he's capable of so many things, and if we had a good system, we should even start questioning some of the elections that he's been part of. Start questioning all the processes that he has taken part in. I'm talking about the resident electoral commissioner. But to start with, the process had to be suspended. Now the man is already being debriefed at INEC headquarters in Abuja. And so what happens after? Well, they will definitely, he should face the law. They would resume the process. They will resume the process, and then look at how the votes, how the contenders fared at different electoral units, and that's it. But then I equally expect the police high command to weigh in on the commissioner of police, who escorted the man who made that declaration. Yes. And probably the DSS equally should do the same thing. And anybody who had a part in that shameful naked dance in the marketplace should face the music. That is the way to deal with it. But here we don't have any serious punishment for electoral offenders. But
the laws are there that will enable anybody to actually get punished if he's found culpable of any electoral offense. But the issue is, who is going to enforce that? That brings us to the issue of Electoral Offenses Commission. They will tell you that the courts are so busy. Is it better that we have this commission that will deal decisively and strictly to the issues that have to do with the election and the offenders?
That's the wish of many Nigerians. But some persons are sitting on that very bill. Probably the National Assembly members. We're hoping that one day reasons would prevail and we have the commission and we can decisively deal with electoral offenders. If politicians realize that by the mere act of conviction, by the mere act of getting involved in electoral malpractice, that you might sit out the next 2 election cycles, not participate in electoral process as a candidate for 8 years. If you can punish them in that manner, they would respect themselves. But as far as it goes by, oh, you erred, take the mandate, it's not enough. How could someone enjoy a governorship mandate for 3 years illegally, and someone comes again and then they start having off-cycle election? What happens to the money that is being taken? What happens to the security that he has enjoyed? What happens to the commonwealth of Nigerians that he has enjoyed and all that? So they should be made to pay for it. But till then, we have to start from somewhere. And Adamawa State presents a clear example of such illegality. Let's start by punishing the people who perpetrated this act. I am very happy, Ginika, that this happened. The youths in Adamawa State did not pour into the street. PDP has reacted profusely on this matter, and we are yet to get any single reaction from APC. If you have seen any, show me.
I'm yet to see. Probably, you don't forget that it was their candidate that was purportedly declared the winner of that charade.
And we were celebrating a possible female governor.
So what are we supposed to get from the judiciary? Do they have a part to addressing such anomaly?
Of course, the man should be referred to the proper channel of adjudication. Let's have him punished. We've had a resident electoral. We have returning officers, convicted somewhere in Akwa Ibom, I remember,
yes,
and some other places.
So, but where is the returning officer, Professor Mohammed Mele, a professor of English? He should be the returning officer for Adamawa. Where is he?
He has not.
Are we going back to the Ekiti issue that happened in 2009? Where the returning officer had to run away for his dear life.
Yeah, but the commission has taken over this matter. I don't think he really needs to get involved any longer.
Why?
The commission has taken over the matter.
I think
the commission has taken over in a way that they want to treat the matter, dispatch it. His own is to continue his collation and then do his job and leave the state.
He can only do that where there is adequate security for him. What?
Don't forget that an official was manhandled in same Adamawa State.
Yes.
A national commissioner was manhandled.
Who could that be? Could it be the Yunusa Ari, that's the wreck that wanted to wreck Adamawa State? Well, we'll talk about that next time. And that's all we have for you on trending issues on Flow FM TV. Thank you so much, Samson, for coming on the show.
Thank you, my guy.
My name is Ginika Olwa. I'll see you again. Good afternoon.